Okay, today's lesson is on variable expressions, and a lot of this is going to seem like something that you already know. And so if you feel pretty comfortable with it, great. Otherwise, pay real close attention. I'll write down as much as I can as we go along. Okay, so let's all look at the first one. We have 8 plus x. If x equals 6, that means we're substituting in this 6 here for x. So this is really 8 plus 6. So what would 8 plus 6 be, guys? 14. Okay, so this is really all you're doing here today is substituting in. Okay, we're going to have to do some other where we write our own variable expressions, but here in the beginning it's pretty easy. Okay, so if s is 2, we plug in 2 here, so we have 10 divided by 2, which is 5. Number 3, plug in 20 here. Now 0.2a means 0.2 times 20. 2 times 20 is 40, but because this decimal is in one place, you have to come in one place, which means the answer is just 4, or 4.0. You guys okay with me? Yes. All right, on we go. Number 4, if y is 1, then 9 minus 1 is 8. If q is 12, then you have 3/4 times q, meaning times 12 over 1. You can simplify that because the 4 can go into the 12 3 times and into itself once. So going straight across, you have 9 over 1 or just 9. Number 6, take the 3, plug it in for b. So 8 times 3 is 24. Okay, that's pretty easy. Any questions on that section? Okay, let's look at this little fraction review. It's been a little while since we've done this, and I want to make sure we're all on the same page. Now, when you're adding or subtracting fractions, if they already have the same denominator, then that's pretty easy. You just add or subtract the numerators. But if they're different denominators, then you're going to start here. And there's this little multiplication method that we can use where we do 1 times 5, which is 5, 3 times 2, which is 6. And then because there's a plus sign in the middle, we're going to put a plus in the middle. And then the denominator comes from the two denominators. 3 times 5 is 15. So what's 5 plus 6? 11 over 15. And that cannot simplify, but if it could, you would simplify, and that would be your answer. Okay, let's do another one. Different denominators, so start up here in the left corner. 2 times 3? 6. 5 times 1? What do I put in the center here? Because there's a minus in this problem. Where does the denominator come from? The two bottom numbers, the two denominators. 5 times 3? Okay, so that gives me
1 over 50.
There you go. Okay? All right. On this next part, it says write the verbal phrase, because it's written verbally here, as an algebraic expression and use x for the variable in your expression. So I want you to participate here. So for number 9, how can we write 8 less than half of a number? You have to know of a number, that's going to be your x there. Half of a number, but 8 less than that. Anybody have an idea of how we could write that? Harley.
You could do a fraction like x divided by 2 and minus 8.
Perfect. X divided by 2 and then minus 8. Half of a number, so half of x, x divided by 2 and then minus 8. Perfect. Number 10, a number decreased by 5. How could we write that, Liam?
X minus 5.
Very good. You just made your debut on Miss Wilson's YouTube channel.
Shout out.
All right. The product of 10 and a number. How do we write this as an expression? The product of 10 and a number. You have to know what the word product means. Rhea?
10x.
10x. Very good. Now, even though 10 times x, meaning the little dot like this, does mean that, we're not going to do that. When you have a number and a variable, write them side by side. The 10 is called the coefficient. It's the number in front of the variable, the coefficient. Do you want to write that down? Wouldn't hurt. Coefficient. There we go. Anytime you have a number multiplied to a variable, that number in front is called the coefficient. Okay, let's look at number 12 here. It says 7 squared increased by a number. Any takers? Cade?
Do the 7 with the
the square thing over it, and then plus x.
Very good. Very good. Number 11, quotient of a number and 16. The quotient of a number and 16. Olivia?
62 divided by x.
Well, oh, did you say 16 or? I thought you said 15. Okay. Well, put it in the order that you read it. It is division. Quotient of a number and 16.
X divided by 16.
There you go. Perfect. All right.
Wilson,
Yes.
what do you call the little check thing when you're like cutting the
That's a square root.
square root? Okay, that's square and square root just.
They're actually opposites of each other. To square something and to take the square root of each.
It got me mixed up.
But-
I thought that was a little check thing.
But you were wrong.
I was.
But you're okay.
I'm good now.
Okay. Number
Square and
14.
square root.
The difference of a number and 2. The difference of a number and 2. Harley?
X minus 2.
Very good. X minus 2. All right, now down here is where they get just a little bit more complicated. Write the verbal sentence as an equation or an inequality. Now, if it's an equation, it's going to have an equal sign in it, and it's going to have the word is. If it's an inequality, we're going to use a less than, or a less than or equal to, or a greater than or equal to sign when we're writing this out. So let's look at 15. 8 is less than 5 times a number x. 8 is less than 5 times the number x. Rhea?
5x minus 8.
If it said is less, or not is, if it just said less than, it needs to have a less than sign. So it's going to be 8, I don't know, I'm getting confused on how to say it, is less than, like this, 5 times the number x. So it would be 5x.
I got that.
If it just said 8 less than 5 times the number x, we'd use subtraction. But it says is less than, so it's going to be the less than sign. Those can be tricky. Number 16, 4 less than the product of 2 and x is 6. So see how that just says 4 less than, not 4 is less than? So 4 less than the product of 2 and x. How do we write that much? 4 less than the product. Jackson?
2x minus 4.
2x minus 4. And then is 6 equals 6.
We'll see.
Okay, number 17. 15 is the quotient of a number x and 2. 15 is the quotient of a number x and 2. What do you think? Is anybody different? Okay.
X divided by 2 equals 15.
X divided by 2 equals 15. 15 is equal to the quotient of a number x and 2. Yes. You could write 15 equals x over 2 or x over 2 equals 15. Either way. Very good. Very, very, very good. Okay. Thank you, Mackenzie. All right. Number 8. It doesn't, because number 17 is not an inequality. It is an equation because of the word is here. This one has is, but it says is less than. That's why it's... These are kind of tricky. You have to read them kind of slow. 8 decreased by 2 is 3 times x. Jonathan.
8 minus 2 equals 3x.
There you go. Good. Okay, on the back. Now, if you're watching this video at home and you're doing this lesson for the first time, then please pause this video and go ahead and do the back and then turn it back on to check your answers.
Pause. Please do.
I don't think I can pause this. I think I just have to stop it, and I don't want to do that. So we're going to just work these together. Okay? Q to the third power. What does that mean?
Q times Q times Q.
Exactly. Q times Q times Q. Without a calculator, 10 times 10 times 10 is
1,000.
1,000.
Whoa.
Okay, b to the 5th power. So that's 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. It would be to your benefit if you would group these together. For example, 2 times 2 is 4, and 4. You could, or look, Cade, if you did that, and then you just bring down this 2, you just have to do 4 times 4 times 2.
16 times 2.
There you go. Okay, z squared, 5 times 5. 25. X to the 4th. So 6 to the 4th. So 6 times 6 times 6 times 6.
Group them together.
Yes, 6 times 6 is...
36 plus times 36.
You might have to do that on your paper real quick. That's not something you're going to just know in your head.
I got this.
There you go.
I told you don't tell me.
Who was that, Jonathan? 1,296. That's okay, we got more. If m is 9, 9 to the 3rd power, 9 times 9 times 9. 9 times 9 is 81 times 9. I hear it. 729. Good. Okay, then n is 3 to the 5th power. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3 times 3, 9. 3 times 3. 3 times 3 is not 6.
9 times 9 is 81 times 3. 81 times 3 is 3.
81 times 3.
243.
Hey. Let's not get so frustrated. And remember that we are live video right now. Okay. All right, number 25. If C is 2 and D is 5, then we have to add those first, and then we'll cube it. So that's 7 to the 3rd power, which is...
147.
Who said that?
The little genius over in the corner.
What was the number?
Way to go, Harley. Don't let those 8th graders take you over. 8th graders, you've got a challenge. Okay, 49 times 7.
Pretty sure I got it.
Harley, what did you say, sweetheart?
147.
Oh, wait a minute.
Oh, wait. So how much do you want
I don't know. Hold on. Let's check. 7 times 7 is 49. No. There you go, Harley. She still beat y'all. 343.
I didn't even know where we're going.
I bet she has a top.
Did you already say it, Mackenzie? I didn't hear you.
Well, you know what? Maybe we should just give the 7th graders a report.
The 6th graders.
Listen.
They don't even work.
All right.
We got this.
C is 2.
Wait, stop. I got this.
Okay, you do it. I'll do it on the board, and then when you're done, you look up and see if it's right.
I know one of the numbers. No, don't tell me. It's just simple math. Why am I not getting this? I got it.
Okay.
133.
Woohoo! Yay!
She just wrote it after I said
I just now wrote that up there.
it. Yes, she did.
Yes, I did.
Yes, she did.
Okay. Listen, let me close out the video, and then you can have your little conversation. Okay, so if you're watching this video, that's the end of the lesson. Feel free to go ahead and start your homework and ask questions if you have any questions.
Like and subscribe.